Good day and welcome back to the Occitanie and revisiting yet another garden. This garden that I like to call a Garden of the Mirrors. It was designed with the intention of bringing light into all corners of the garden by reflecting the sun. It was extraordinary one summer afternoon this year when we were invited here. This is just one little corner of a rather large garden with mirrors in all the nooks and crannies. So it was extraordinary when the Lock Valley group of Christians were invited by the designer to hold our service here in the Garden of Mirrors on a hot summer afternoon in July. The conflicts and the injustices of our present times symbolically outshone by the light of the sun reflected in the mirrors. Hear the words of the prayer of Alcuin of York. Eternal light, shine into our hearts. Eternal goodness, deliver us from evil. Eternal power, be our support. Eternal wisdom, scatter the darkness of our ignorance. Mirrors, are often associated with vanity, and yet they also teach us. It is said that mirrors reflect back what we are. Looking at the reflections of our physical selves, do we rejoice or grieve? Do we linger and search for the image of God that lies deep within us? Or do we observe, as James says in his New Testament letter, quote, he looks at himself and goes away and at once forgets what he was like? It is probably easier to put our spiritual flaws to the back of our minds than our so-called physical flaws. But next time we see our reflection, we could pause, look beyond the physical, and consider what our true selves look like to Jesus. Paul also wrote about mirrors. We see now as a dim image in a mirror, but soon we shall understand and see as face to face. In Paul's time, mirrors were probably still polished brass, and so the image would be far from clear. And so it perfectly explains our problem. In seeking God, we are certainly searching through a haze. Inadequate language, stories from different time and culture, doctrines established by different churches, and revelations of the Spirit. Remember, St. Paul had been on a mission of destruction when the scales fell from his eyes, and we pray that the scales will fall from ours too, so that one day we will see clearly and see God face to face. Until then, we can pray with St. Columba. O Lord, give us that love which can never cease, that will kindle our lamps but not extinguish them, that they burn in us and enlighten us. Seems remarkable that given our inadequate nature and abilities, we are tasked with enlightening others. But here it is, and we have been tasked with it. Fortunately, guidance comes from Jesus, who said, I am the light of the world. Whoever follows me will never walk in darkness, but will have the light of life. So let each one of us pause as we stand in front of our mirrors at home and look for a lesson from the mirror. Thank you for joining me for these short videos. And until next time, let us all recognise God's blessings.